Hey folks, Darren here. Welcome back to the channel, Mr. Sandsman. I just had a delivery this morning, one that I'm really excited about, a release that I've been waiting for now for a good few months since it was announced, and that would be John Carpenter's Starman, this special 4K Steelbook edition that Columbia Pictures have just put out. Now, when you look at the front of this, it's an amazing looking piece of physical media. If you check out that artwork there, folks. One of the great moments in the movie, the climactic scene. A movie that I saw around the time that it first came out and then only revisited once or twice over the years. And I watched it again this morning and I have to say it really got to me. I think it's such an emotional movie. Jeff Bridges and Karen Allen are fantastic in this film. Their chemistry is kind of miles apart to begin with, and they kind of draw themselves into each other as the movie progresses. It's a really emotional movie, and it's a shame that it failed at the box office when it came out. I mean, it was critically quite lauded, and you know, Jeff Bridges earned himself a Oscar nomination back in 1984. Lost out to F. Murray Abraham, I think, for Amadeus. But you know, when you see the effort that he goes to in this film, which, you know, I guess some could say 40 odd years later now maybe looks a little bit clunky, but I get what he was going for. You know, he was going for that kind of innocent, naive look all the time. And, you know, he studied birds and their movement. You know, he plays a alien entity that encompasses Karen Allen's dead husband's likeness, a clone essentially. And he kind of has all these sort of jerky movements throughout the film. You know, there's a lot of curiosity about him. He's constantly learning as the movie goes along. And it's kind of a sad story because all the government want to do is track him down. And they're the ones that invited this alien presence to the country in the first place, a number of years earlier. And so it's kind of a road movie that's one part drama, one part sci-fi, and one part pure tension throughout as the two are being tracked down from beginning to end of this film. So it's a movie that I can really recommend if you haven't seen it before. And if you're a Carpenter fan like me, no doubt you've already got this on pre-order or already have it, because I think it has been out in some territories before it was released in the UK. Not sure if it was in this Steelbook format or not, but I can say it is a really beautiful looking thing. So I gave you a close-up of the front. I'll now give you a close-up of the J card on the back, if you can have a look there. There you go. We have an audio commentary with director John Carpenter and Jeff Bridges. 21 deleted scenes, a behind-the-scenes time-lapse. They came from Hollywood, remembering Starman featurette, a making-of featurette. All I have to do is dance, music video, a stills gallery, and the theatrical trailer. This has been remastered in Dolby Vision and HDR, and there's an Atmos soundtrack on there as well. There's not much happening on the Atmos soundtrack, I must admit, but the score does sound good. Jack Nitzsche's score on this movie does sound incredibly good, especially the moment where it swells towards the end in that kind of climactic moment, which is there on the front of the Steelbook. So I'll just remove the J card so you can take a look at the Steelbook in all its glory. I'll just put that to the side there. On the back, you have the picture there of Karen Allen and Jeff Bridges. Obviously, she was widowed. There's the vessel coming down to Earth, and it's not long after that at the start of the film, whereas this kind of life force moves over to Karen Allen's house and takes the form of her recently deceased husband. Now, there's a scene at the start of the film whereas you see the Starman transformation from this kind of life force into Jeff Bridges, and it's, I guess, a really interesting special effects sequence. One part of it is very clunky nowadays, but the initial start of the transformation is fantastic. And it's no wonder when you look at the wizards that were behind this. You have Dick Smith, Stan Winston, and Rick Baker all working away on this sequence. Now, there is a part of the sequence, like I said, that does look a bit clunky, and they could have left out of the movie. I think it would have worked equally as well without that. There's a bit of stop motion animation which really hasn't aged well over the years, but the movie itself looks fantastic. Some of the visual effects that we get in this film are probably a little bit dated nowadays, and I think are slightly exaggerated in terms of the quality of them with the 4K HDR Dolby Vision transfer. But it doesn't take away from this movie being an emotional masterpiece. I think it's really solid, and for the first time today it engaged me more than it ever has before. I'll just show you inside before we continue. 2 discs in there, one which is the 4K, which has got all sorts of ugly stamps on it, and it's obviously a European release that they've used in the UK. I can see Dutch, German, and a UK rating card on there, so it's probably been out in Europe already, as I said, but it's well worth the release in the UK. It does look and sound fantastic. It is a 7.1.4 Atmos soundtrack, I believe, but like I said, there's not much whizzing around or anything like that, but it is very immersive when that score kicks in, and it's such a memorable score. I think one of the most emotionally engaging scores from a Carpenter film that there has been over the years. So Starman, I can highly recommend this beautiful looking Steelbook. I really enjoyed watching this film again this morning, and I just wanted to share that with you. I think it's I think a lot of Carpenter fans will really enjoy this. I haven't dived into the extras yet. I will get into that at some stage, but for now I just wanted to get this out there and show you what a marvelous looking piece of physical media they've delivered to us. That's all I've got time for at the moment, folks. Thank you again for all your support with the channel. Thank you for subscribing, liking, all those good things. It really has been a pleasure engaging with you all and seeing those subscriber numbers rack up over the last few weeks. It's been an absolute pleasure and a treat to put these videos out. So thank you again. I'll be back soon, probably later this weekend, with another video. I've been watching the hell out of a few of the releases that I've just bought recently, and so I want to document that in some form over the next few days. So until then, I'll speak to you soon. Cheers.